Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, and comic book people of all ages, all people around the world there. We are AussieVerse, and I am Mark Grodd Watson, and this is my friend Ryan, who is part of our team. And we are here to discuss what has been happening with DC and their movies. And how are you doing, Ryan?
I'm pretty good at the moment, feeling a little bit under the weather, but I'm really excited to talk about this.
Yes. Well, if you don't know, we have an Instagram page. Go and like and subscribe and follow our Instagram there. And we all our designs and all our thumbnails and everything like that is done by A51 Designs. Go check out that page. And and so all that is done. So we are ready to discuss. Also, like and subscribe. I will get that page up. That didn't work out. But yes, if you are following or if you are watching this, please like and subscribe. And and let us know in your comments what you think. And yeah, so let's discuss it, Ryan. So what are you hearing? What are your thoughts?
So
What
I
is
think
going on with DCU at the moment?
the most important thing to kick this off with is what we do know. I believe it was Thursday last week where we found out the Batgirl movie had been axed. And we found that out via Deadline at first, I'm pretty sure. And the directors and the cast and stuff, they weren't actually informed that the movie was axed. They found out with the rest of us that it had been axed. And then one little tidbit that's come out a little bit later is that the current president of DC Films, Walter Hamada, he is actually eyeing the exit door at DC at the moment because of Batgirl's cancellation. So he's going to stay on board until Black Adam, and then after that comes out, it's anybody's guess if he's going to stay or not.
What are your initial thoughts about the Batgirl cancellation? Were you surprised, or are you? What do you think in your mind? Is this the reason behind this? I guess they're two different questions, but yeah.
Well, the reason behind it, I'd say that there's two reasons that both flow into each other. So you've got reason number one of Warner have gotten new owners and are looking at all of their projects and evaluating them. And when it comes to DC, that's what they view as a marquee brand, which they want to really push within the company and bring to new heights so that it can make them lots and lots of money, especially the movies. And I think that they took one look at that Batgirl movie and they went, nah, that is not where we want to go with the brand. Axe it now. And then
Yeah,
flowing into that, you also have the reason of, well, we can just write it off for tax purposes and never have to release it.
yeah. So I was a bit shocked. I wanted to watch. I wanted to see a Batgirl movie, but you've got tax reasons, and you got they test screened it and didn't think it was for the theaters, and they want everything to be a theatrical sort of scene now. These new bosses, so they want things to be a big event, or they want things to be amazing. So yeah, I'm surprised, but after all these other cancellations, which I'm sure we'll get into, all these things that might get cancelled, it makes a bit more sense now. They're trying to not lose as much cash as they possibly can out of these projects, and they're trying to go in a direction. Whether we think it's going to work, it's at least they're trying something, I guess. But it's a bit of a shame everybody put in their hard work for it, and all these directors, and it was made. It's just through production, and I mean, like, I'm sure we'll see it one day.
I'm sure it will leak, just like that Fantastic Four movie from the 90s leaked. where apparently every copy of it was destroyed. But
Yes.
this Batgirl movie, I'm pretty sure it was the most interesting thing that they were putting out post The Flash. Just looking at it, like if you look at the cast, you've got J.K. Simmons. It's a new universe. We finally get a Barbara Gordon in live action. Keaton as Batman in some capacity, just passing the mantle, just Batman stuff. And who could forget? It's got Brendan Fraser as well as Firefly.
Firefly. Yeah. So he's sort of come back. I mean, like I know he's done a few things now, but this is his comeback to movies, isn't it? So this could have really sort of. Yeah. Look, it's a tough one because I wasn't too confident with the direction they were going. But it's unfortunate they've had to scrap things like this that I was still going to watch. I was always going to watch this, and I was always going to be interested. Again, I want a Barbara Gordon. They have announced that this doesn't mean that she's not going to, whoever the actress is, I forgot her name. She is going to probably play Batgirl in future projects. They're saying they're not ruling her out. So hopefully they do that and do her justice that way. But obviously it's not going to be the same as getting her own movie. But yeah.
Got to feel bad for Michael Keaton because he's been apparently cut out of 2 projects so far.
Yeah, they've really got something against Michael Keaton's Batman, which it's understandable because it's just confusing. Like, sure, we can just go, hey, it's comic book movies. We will piece it out. But the regular person that does not quite into this sort of stuff will just go, what's going on here? You got Ben Affleck one time, you got Rob Pattinson the next time, and now we got Keaton back, and we haven't seen him for what 30 years. So yeah.
Just to provide a little bit of context as well. So the rumor is that Michael Keaton was meant to show up in Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, just for a small cameo. And since they've shuffled around release dates so much, and Aquaman is coming out at the moment, hasn't been delayed yet, but possibly will be in March next year, I believe, which would be before The Flash. They've gone and done some reshoots with Ben Affleck to put him in the film.
Yeah. That, to be honest, especially for an Aquaman movie, that's good news. That's good news. Like, it just, again, it would be confusing if it was Michael Keaton in it. And we have an old Batman, but yet we have younger Aquaman and we have younger Superman. And if that's going to happen, we have younger. It just like in comics, we don't have a 60-year-old Batman while everybody else is in their 40s or 30s. So it just didn't quite make sense. I know Ben Affleck's getting on, but that was the good news for, I guess, directional wise. And plus the fact is, not everyone agrees, but I like Ben Affleck as Batman. I do. I like. It's not really like he's not the best Batman, but he's not the best Bruce Wayne, but he's the best in between. Because I always thought Christian Bale was a good Bruce Wayne, but not a great Batman. And this Robert Pattinson was a great Batman, but we barely got to see Bruce. So, but he wasn't a great Bruce Wayne. Where I think Ben Affleck's a good mix between the both. Like, he's a great Bruce Wayne, and he's a pretty good Batman. So, what are your thoughts?
I'll throw you a bit of a different take here. I think he's a good Bruce Wayne, but not so much a good Batman.
I think he's a great Bruce Wayne, yeah. That's why I thought Bruce Wayne great, because he does give off that vibe.
I saw him, well, the way he does Playboy Billionaire is just very good, but his Batman was a bit too killy for me.
He was very dark. I don't know if that, probably a bit of Zack Snyder in that, isn't it? But
like, I'm sure if given the proper material, he would do a really, really good Batman. Like, his alleged Batman script was really good, which has floated around, and it's apparently one of the best scripts that's ever been written.
Yeah, well,
and I'll throw another little thing in here. So Keaton as well. I think that having a really old Batman around in a universe full of young people, it just makes him look geriatric.
Yeah, yeah. And if you're ever going to do it, you're going to do a Batman Beyond sort of thing, which would make sense. It'd be kind of cool. You can just put it in the future, not in the now. So yeah. Um, for, yeah, I agree with the Ben Affleck thing. Look at the movies he was in. He was a different type of Batman, so maybe the tone of the movie would figure that out more. But I don't know. I'm happy to see Ben do it again because I actually like Ben as a person as well because I'm a Jay and Silent Bob fan. So he's in all of them. So the guy cracks me up just looking at him. So I want him to do well at this. So yeah.
I mean, the man had a bat cave in his previous house, so he's a fan.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So it was good. Yeah. I don't know how this is going to. What do you think is going to happen with the Flash movie? It's probably going to go ahead, but what's going to happen? What's really going to happen?
Okay, it's a $200 million movie. They're not canceling it.
No.
It's too expensive to cancel, and it's too expensive to reshoot with a different actor. That'll just inflate the budget way too high for it to make any money back. So they can either dump it on HBO Max or whatever it's called next year once it merges with Discovery Plus. They can dump it there and just get it out there, just to wrap things up and just have it out there, or they can put it in theaters and just hope that Ezra Miller hasn't gone on another rampage since then.
Yeah. I'm a massive Flash fan, so this is kind of disappointing because I want a Flash movie. It kind of feels like it's going to hurt the Flash for a while as a character, unless we find some sort of quick resolution or solution into replacing him or quickly passing the mantle over to Wally West sort of character. If we do that smoothly, I think we can rejuvenate the Flash. But yeah, look, I'm still keen for the movie. Yeah, it's just a bit disappointing all of it, but we've all not really been on the Ezra Miller as Barry Allen to start with. Even before the stuff happened, we all didn't quite believe he was the right fit for Barry Allen, which is all
that they've got in those movies as well. It doesn't feel like Barry Allen.
Does not. No, it doesn't.
It feels more like Bart.
Yeah. I definitely see that. Yeah, the kid, because Barry's not the type of guy that overly talks or overly, like he's a bit of a nerd. Barry is, but he's not the guy that just keeps on yabbering. So it didn't quite feel right, but yeah, it's always good to see a Flash though.
One thing I can see them doing. So
yeah,
since the movie's based on Flashpoint, I'm assuming he will put everything semi back to normal at the end with a few changes. They could always just refilm the end of the movie and just have him wake up as a different person, just a different face, Barry Allen. And they can slip in Ben Affleck if they wanted to, or a new Batman, or Robert Pattinson, or Henry Cavill as Superman, or a new actor as Superman. They can keep who they want, get rid of who they want.
It always seems like, especially in the comics, Flash did always seem like a plot point that you can do this, you can change things, and people would just believe it. So because you can do Flashpoint and things can be different, you wake up, things are different, and then we can set it at that time and get some structure back in. But in saying that too, Supergirl, it looks like that's going to be cancelled, that ongoing movie as well. It's another one that's under the chopping block.
One that had entered production but had not actually been filmed yet.
I was a little bit disappointed in that, I guess. I totally forgot that it was even thought of as a movie, but after I heard it and it was cancelled, I was going, oh, I actually wanted to see that. So,
I can't say I'm disappointed because I haven't actually seen the execution of the character yet. Because
yeah,
good execution of the character in the Flash movie and that movie being cancelled, I could be like, well, damn, that's a huge shame. But if she's bad in the Flash movie, then it's just like, well, who cares?
yeah. Well, I guess this sort of falls under the MR of sort of the trend of being a theatrical sort of movie. You need the big names, I guess, and so these are the Batgirl and the Supergirl's pretty new names. I mean, like they've all got to start from somewhere. We all do, but maybe they just don't trust the smaller names yet to sort of get them back on the right track, which is unfortunate. I mean, like some people just get their goes. Like not many of us knew who Henry Cavill was before he got Superman. So
No one knew who Chris Hemsworth was before he got Thor.
exactly, and Chris Evans had sort of been stereo cast for a few things, and yeah, maybe they're just not leaning towards taking the risk of going for a newbie and going, really, this is what we're going to invest our next phase in. These people who have no experience, but yeah,
I'd argue it's better to invest in a newbie because then the audience can be totally enthralled in that character and not have to
exactly
separate an actor.
right. So that's all you'll see if you'll see that actor again, won't it? So that's kind of what you want. Yeah. See, like I liked Washington Heights and stuff like that. So I thought she was great. This is Batgirl. I thought she was a great actor. So yeah, I was a bit disappointed in that. I thought it was good casting. Well, I don't know.
Another good casting from a very famous show at the moment, Cobra Kai. You got Zolo as Blue Beetle.
Okay, yeah.
His little movie that has finished filming already for about a month and is possibly on the chopping block, but hopefully does see a release.
Yeah, that's sort of like you kind of get that feeling like, don't touch that one. Everyone's thinking the same thing. Don't you dare touch that one. I mean, like we've all been okay, fair enough. Okay, fair enough. But now we're just like, no Blue Beetle, keep Blue Beetle. I mean, like, yeah. So me personally, I want to see a Blue Beetle movie, and I wanted to see the both other movies too, but this one was probably my most interested just to see how it would turn out. And I think this one, there's less stakes involved in Blue Beetle to get it right or to get it wrong. I
I'd
think
say that with the good thing about this Blue Beetle movie is that you can just keep it very small stakes, like you said. You can keep it very separate. You can go a couple different directions with it if you really want. Like, if you don't want to do small stakes, you can go a little bit cosmic with it with the reach. You can tie it into some of their magic properties that they're trying to build up, like Constantine.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, true. And then I guess it can open the door because I think we got Ted Cole's mother cast in it as Susan Sarandon. So, but there's no casting of Ted Cord yet. But that means you can maybe in another project bring in Ted Cord for the other movies, and then we're just like, I'm getting really excited for a blue and gold movie. I mean, like, come on.
Or are they going to go the other direction and just make it the Ted Cord is dead already?
Oh, that hurts. But still, good effect. I mean, like you can maybe even make a Booster Gold where he tries to go back in time and save Ted Cord.
I'll still stand by my casting of Ryan Gosling as Booster Gold.
I do remember you saying that on a live show. I like that one. I didn't think of that one, but I do like that one because he's got the He's got the look. He's got the and he's got the blonde hair.
He's got the
got
bravado as well to do it.
Yeah, he's a bit clumsy too in a lot of his movies. He's good at being a clumsy guy, like the Good Guys. He's good in that with Russell Crowe. So yeah, I like that. I like that casting.
Now, also recently, we've seen that there's been a little bit of chopping over at the CW in terms of DC shows, apparently. So The Flash is ending at its 9th season. Legends of Tomorrow has been cancelled. Superman and Lois has been renewed. So that's one of the only ones staying. Then we've got Stargirl, which is unknown, which I think will probably end after season 3, sadly, because Stargirl is actually pretty good. Gotham Knights has apparently already been cancelled.
I heard that's been cut, yeah.
No one was disappointed that one has apparently been cut.
It just didn't make any sense at all. And I watched in the preview, I'm just going, Harvey Dent's the commissioner, and it just didn't make any sense at all.
It just looked cringe.
It looked like just a teenage high school TV show. It looked like, I didn't know what to look. I'm just going, I'm not going to watch this. And I usually watch majority of CW shows. In saying that, I think The Flash it's about time. The last couple of seasons have been a bit meh. It was good while it lasted. Superman and Lois, I watched the end of the new season last week, and it is starting to fall. Like, it's still good, but it's starting
I haven't seen any of that show, I don't think, since maybe halfway through season 1.
Okay. Well, that's about as high as it goes, but it was good season 1. Don't get me wrong, and I reckon the first half of season 2 was good too. But it started to get very CW-y. You know, it's about family, it's about drama, with a few villains involved or a few crises involved. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoy it and I will still watch it. And I really like Tyler. I do not know his last name. Hedgkin, whatever it is.
Hodgson.
That's it. I kind of like him as a Clark Kent. He actually does a really good Superman Clark Kent. I see it, and I kind of like that. So
I can agree. He's kind of like, he gives you the feeling that you don't want to disappoint him.
Yeah, and they do kind of feel like two different people when he's Clark Kent and then when he's Superman. So, and got to be almost kind of a first because you always just see Superman when you look at Clark Kent, but with Tyler, it's not quite like that. But
no, he's got the bumbly nature, like down pat, and then the Superman's got the very confident nature, just perfect.
And they put a bit of extra padding in his suit to make him look a bit more buffer too, and he looks a bit more scrawnier when he's Clark Kent. So that helps. But I'm also with you too. Stargirl's been really good. That is a show I did not think I would like. I don't know much about Stargirl, but season 2 was great. Had one of my favorite characters, Shade, in it. So yeah, I enjoyed it. And this new season, I saw the preview to it the other day. This new season, which comes out August 18th, I think it said.
Ooh,
soon.
That is pretty soon, and it's got Mr. Bones in it, doesn't it?
Yes. So, and it looks good again. So I'm interested. So hopefully they don't go anywhere near that. But the CW, I can see, as I said, with Discovery of this new direction. Yeah, CW are just there to sort of get you a paycheck, but not be amazing.
Plus, it came out recently that the CW has actually never turned a profit.
Oh, that's surprising.
Yep, that is pretty surprising. And another thing that is also surprising are these next two shows that are on the chopping block, apparently, being Titans and Doom Patrol.
Right. Yes. Titans, throughout most of it, I haven't been the biggest fan of it. I didn't like season 3, which was the latest one yet. Yeah, and I like the first season, but yeah, it's just Titans to me. I'm not going to miss that if it goes. Not that I hate it, but I don't love it. Doom Patrol I've always liked, but yeah.
I see it a little bit differently to you. So Titans, I actively despise that show because I just think it's too edgy.
Hmm.
It just seems like the DC universe turned up to 25.
Yeah. I agree. As I said, I don't remember ever going, "Oh, I really want to watch this." I just got it done because I'm a fan. I wanted to see where it was going. But yeah, season 3 I did not like much.
Like season 1 is where I stopped. I watched about half of that and I was like, no, I'm out. Done. No more.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was all over the place too. Like, there's some good episodes, but it was all over the place. And yeah, Doom Patrol, as I said, I don't mind, but it's sort of run its course. It's fine.
Doom Patrol, for me, I actually really, really like Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
I've only seen the first 2 seasons, but
Okay.
really, really enjoyed what I watched. To me, it's just Umbrella Academy, which makes sense because that's what the Umbrella Academy are inspired by, being Doom
Okay.
Patrol.
Well, that also makes sense. But yeah, I'd pick Doom Patrol too. But I can see it's run its course. But yeah, it's weird, and I'm all for it. It's good acting. It's good, especially the first season. When you got to, I didn't know much about these characters either, and I'm a pretty big DC fan, but they don't pop up hardly ever lately. Doom Patrol.
Like,
So,
they made you really care about Crazy Jane and her backstory, and Larry, and Robot Man as well, also
yeah,
played by Brendan Fraser.
mm-hmm. Yeah. No, Cliff, isn't it? I think it's Cliff.
Yep, Cliff.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Their backstories were great. They were all pretty emotional, and they captured it pretty well. And yeah, and then also the craziness of some pretty creepy villains too. So it was kind of cool. Like the is it Mr. Nobody?
Yeah, Mr. Nobody, played by
Oh,
Alan Tudyk. Pretty good
yeah,
villain.
really good villain. That was great. Like, especially when he was narrating it as well. Yeah. Now I think back at it, I really enjoyed that.
Now, here's one that I think is on the chopping block, and it makes me sad because I really wanted this show to come back, and it finally did. And then now it looks like it's going to leave again. Young Justice.
Okay, yeah. Mm.
Because, yeah, that show got cancelled in 2014. And I remember being very gutted that it got cancelled. And then 2016, 2017, they finally announced, oh, it's coming back. We're going to give you another season. And then we got that and did well. Got season 4. Season 4, if it was going to end there, sure, I'd be okay with it, apart from the cliffhanger they left on.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. I honestly haven't watched Young Justice, so I did hear rumors about that, and I was just like, oh, okay. I don't understand why they would cut it, but yeah. But
Well, a big thing that they've talked about cutting is animation.
right, okay, because that's been DC's main success at the moment. They've been doing really well in the animation sort of movies, but kind of.
This is just me, but I haven't enjoyed many of their animated movies since, like, Justice League War.
Okay. Well,
I think the
I'm not.
last one that I really enjoyed was Flashpoint.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not an animation fan, so it's not something I've been watching. But people keep telling me, "Oh, you've got to watch Lock of Halloween, or you've got to watch Injustice." There was Justice League Dark as well. I did watch that, and it wasn't too bad. But again, I'm just not an animation fan as much as the live action. So yeah.
And there's also this Green Lantern show that
Mhm.
has been coming for like 7 years that just is apparently coming and coming and coming, that apparently might now be cancelled or not cancelled. Because I saw a couple of places saying, oh yeah, cancelled, apparently. And then I've seen more places be like, nope, not cancelled.
Yeah, which is because I remember getting the announcement of that, yeah, obviously years ago, and I just keep whenever something DC comes up, like DC fandom. At the end of it, we have a friend, Steve Roberts, who's a massive Green Lantern fan, who's part of the AussieVerse family here, and he keeps going, "Did you hear anything about Green Lantern?" I'm just like, "Oh yeah, that show that was supposed to go ahead. We got like 2 castings in 3 years, and that was it."
It's unbelievable how slow that this has developed.
Well, they've obviously not put much of their just time and effort into it, or they're not relying on it. They're just going, "Oh, we'll get to it when we get to it," sort of thing, and they've sort of not paying Green Lantern the respect that Green Lantern as a concept deserves, because I think DC does have a good market for a Green Lantern sort of universe to go ahead, or even just a solo movie, or even just a TV show. I think they need to do something, because I think it's an opportunity to grab a reasonably new crowd, because it is something different. It's space, or it's grounded, or it's willpower, and it's something can bring new fans in. So I think Green Lantern's something they're underutilizing, or they're just not respecting enough. And I'd like it to see it.
I'm not going to get too into the weeds of it because I think this is a discussion that could be a video unto itself
Yeah.
easily. The utilization of Green Lantern, how they could leverage it into several different TV shows and movies that just interconnect and tell a big story over several years, its own little pocket universe within the DC universe. Like, it's easily DC's franchise that has the most potential.
Yeah, and you feel like just going to even like people we're comic book fans, but it's people that not are into comics. Like Green Lantern was a massive thing in the early 2000s or mid 2000s, 2010ish. They surrounded their like Blackest Night. They surrounded their events around Green Lantern, and it was a cornerstone. In the New 52, there was like or 4 or 5 or 6 different Green Lantern titles. You had Red Lanterns, you had Sinestro, you had Hal Jordan, and you had Green Lanterns. You had several ongoing series of books. And right now in DC, there is not one single Green Lantern book, not even a mini, not even an ongoing. They have clearly just put it in the rack for some reason and just not forgotten about Green Lantern. And I think it's a shame.
Doesn't he have one on the way? Because I remember seeing one solicited.
Well, I think there's a Life Without John Stewart one coming out. I feel like after Dark Crisis, they're going to have announce a lot of new titles, and I think Green Lantern will come into it. Yeah, but yeah, I didn't see anything new Green Lantern wise. I've seen the John Stewart, the Life of Justice League one, but yeah,
Well, hopefully, a couple of things do get cut that I'm hoping get cut, being mainly J.J. Abrams. Keep him away from franchises because he
yeah,
tends to leave them in a worse place than he found them. Good example, Star Wars.
yeah, yep. Well, we were talking a bit backstage before this show. I heard a rumor that Constantine, out of all things, is still looking like it might go ahead, or Constantine, still looking like it might go ahead as a HBO Max series. And as we remember, as Ryan mentioned, J.J. Abrams has rights to that character, or was part of that universe as Justice League Dark Zatanna. But I heard that got scrapped. So
What?
I heard a rumor it was. So yeah.
Oh, I really wanted that one.
100% agree. Hey, I could be wrong. I hope I am. But yeah, I thought I saw somewhere that Zatanna was on the block.
I just wanted to see who they'd cast for those fishnets.
I was just interested in the whole universe that they could have put up if it wasn't J.J. Abrams, as you said. So,
because yeah, he pretty much has dibs on a lot of the magical stuff for DC. So to say.
yeah. Yeah, well, he had the rights to the Justice League Dark TV show, which had written a script and everything, they said. Apparently, I had rumors there was like a Swamp Thing in there. There was a Detective Chimp, which would be interesting live action. It was supposed to be a dead man. I didn't hear an Etrigan in there. So I reckon Etrigan would be really cool live action, wouldn't it?
Well, you'd think that, yeah, Etrigan would be pretty cool in live action, but when you think like magic DC characters in Justice League Dark, one of the first ones that comes to mind is Etrigan.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, even you got Ragman in there. He's part of it now at the moment. But
I believe we've covered all of the projects that have hit the chopping block.
yeah. What are you thinking about the future? We'll just go on about another 5 minutes. What do we think about the future? You think we're bringing Henry Cavill back?
I think they're scrapping everything and they're going to just go from zero. We might get a couple actors who come forward from what we've currently got. Possibly Jason Momoa, if his Aquaman sequel does really well. And maybe Gal Gadot, because it's been really silent on her third movie now, hasn't it? That's really interesting with all this commotion going on that we haven't heard about that third movie for Wonder Woman. But Peacemaker Season 2 will definitely get that. I have a feeling James Gunn, when the dust settles, he will be running DC.
Well, he'll definitely get a big corner, won't he? He'll get a big corner. He'll get the weird stuff.
He will have a hand in every project at DC, as well as his own stuff, because I reckon they'll have him help with laying out their plan.
Yeah, well, as far as I can tell, is what I've heard, he's actually quite knowledgeable with comic book stuff, isn't he? Like, he is a fan, and he has been a fan his whole life. So, pretty happy with that. Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. I think they're going to bring back Henry Cavill, but I don't know for how long, because I think he's almost 40 now, or he's 38, 39, so...
I mean, Robert Downey Jr. was around 40 when he started doing Iron Man.
Wow, the suit does everything with that. But, yeah, no, well, look, one thing you can rely on with Henry Cavill, he's always going to stay fit. So he'll probably stay fit till he's like 60. So, yeah, I just want Henry Cavill back as Superman, to be honest. But I think we've discussed before behind the screen and everything like that, we just want a Superman, to be honest.
Yeah, they just need to nail that character. If they nail that down, they've nailed the universe.
Exactly right. Everything else will fall into place. If you get Superman, you get it right. DC will be fine, but that's a big if. So we'll have a quick word from our sponsor, and then we will say our goodbyes.
This show is sponsored by the Comx shop. Check out comx.cx for all things Comx and find out what Comx is all about. Then head over to comx.shop to pick up a variety of Australian comics from multiple creators and publishers, all for one flat postage rate. We hope you enjoy the show.
All right. Well, any last sort of bit that you want to add to this, Ryan, or anything?
Well, DC currently, I'm just going to leave it off on this, has exploded. It has essentially exploded.
Yes. So you see, like someone walking away from an explosion. That's DC behind you, sort of thing.
Yeah, I just see someone jumping out of a building with something attached to them like a rope, and the building they've just jumped out of is DC.
Yep. Well, it's definitely been entertaining, and it's given us definitely plenty to talk about. We will be available for probably a live show next Monday at 7:30, so to be sure to join us then. But we've got a couple of other shows coming up, I would say, within the next week or so. We've got Through the MCU. We're going to discuss, is Superman relevant? Ryan's got something in store for us there.
Yep, I've wanted to do that for a bit. Really keen to get that off the ground.
Well, definitely. We'll do some recording again this week. And I reckon, too, I want to do a couple of recommended readings. All of us get a couple of books and series and recommend to our fans out there, something that people might not have picked up, something unusual. Let's get some recommended reading out there. But anyway, thanks for joining us. This is AussieVerse. Be sure you like and subscribe us and everything that we've put down there, like A51 Designs. Go check out our Instagram as well. And Comx, definitely go check them out because it's some great deals. There's some great comics there.
One flat rate shipping. You buy 70 comics, you buy one, you're paying the same price on shipping.
Exactly. And you are helping out some great people and some great artists and some great writers. And we're all part of the Australian community here. So until next time, Ryan, goodbye, I reckon.
Yeah, what's AussieVerse?
Yeah, watch it. AussieVerse is for life.